Hey everyone, welcome to English Pod, where we make learning English fun with How I Met Your Mother. In this series, I'll break down keywords, slang, idioms, and cultural references from each episode to help you improve your English naturally. Watch before or after the episode to boost your understanding. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. This is where we take materials you suggest and, well, we dive deep to pull out the good stuff.
That's right. And today, we've got something especially for you English learners out there.
Yeah, we're looking at some really useful everyday English words and phrases you actually hear.
And we're pulling them from a pretty fun source.
Yeah.
The TV show, How I Met Your Mother.
Specifically, Season 1, Episode 18, the one called Nothing Good Happens After 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm. It's a great way to learn because you see the language in context. It's like how people really talk, not textbook talk.
Exactly. Much more memorable, I think. So let's jump in. First word, fellowship. Victoria gets offered one in the episode.
Right. Fellowship. Okay, so basically think of it as a kind of grant or scholarship. It's usually short term.
Okay.
And it's often for, professionals or maybe graduate students to do some specific research or study.
So in Victoria's case is for a culinary institute in Germany.
Exactly. It's a big deal for her career,
Yeah.
a chance to really focus and learn.
Got it. Okay, next one. Robin says something like, I'm not some pathetic cat lady. What's that word pathetic really telling us?
Pathetic. It's quite a strong word, actually. It means something is just sad, really sad or bad.
Right.
But it's sad in a way that makes you feel pity, maybe, but often also a bit of scorn or disappointment.
So it's not just sympathy. There's a negative judgment there.
Yeah, definitely. When Robin says it, she's forcefully rejecting that whole image, loneliness, desperation. She's saying, that's not me.
Makes sense. All right, then Ted has this moment where Victoria appears in his head and she calls herself a manifestation of his subconscious. Sounds heavy.
It does sound a bit academic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the basic idea of manifestation is just something becoming real or visible.
Like an idea you can suddenly see.
Pretty much, like an idea or a quality or a feeling taking a physical form. So Ted's guilt, which is abstract sort of, takes the shape of Victoria in his mind. It's his conscience talking, basically.
Okay, that clears it up. Now for something completely different. The verb box. Marshall jokes he used to box in the army. He doesn't mean putting things in containers, right?
No, definitely not. Here, box means the sport, fighting with your fists, like in a boxing match.
Right, boxing gloves and all that.
Exactly. It's an informal use of the verb. Marshall's just trying to sound tough, challenging Barney in a playful way.
Gotcha. And one more word, this one's slang. Nip. A cab driver offers Ted a nip. What is that?
A nip is just a small drink of alcohol, like a little sip or a small shot.
From a flask, maybe.
Often, yeah. Or just a small serving. It's very casual, very informal. You might offer someone a nip of whiskey, for example.
Okay, good to know. Right, let's move on to some phrases and idioms now. Robin strongly agrees with Barney at one point, saying, you ain't kidding. What's that about?
You ain't kidding. It's super common, very informal. It just means you are absolutely right, or I strongly agree with you.
Even though it sounds like a double negative.
Yeah, grammatically it's a bit weird, but in conversation, it really emphasizes the agreement. It's like saying, wow, you really hit the nail on the head there.
So if I said learning idioms is tricky, you might say.
You ain't kid.
Perfect. Okay, next. Ted calls Marshall from a cab and says, I need a ruling. What kind of ruling?
He's asking for a judgment. Like he's in a tricky situation. Should he go see Robin or not? Yeah. And he wants Marshall to tell him what's right or wrong.
So it's like asking for official advice.
Kind of, yeah. Or a decision. He feels stuck and wants someone else to make the call for him, like a referee.
Right. Okay, then Robin warns Barney before he talks at a school, those kids will eat you alive. Sounds pretty dramatic.
It does. And it means they'll defeat him or criticize him really harshly. The idiom to be eaten alive means to be completely overwhelmed or torn apart by criticism, usually by a group.
So she's saying the kids will be really tough on him.
Exactly. She's warning him, like, be prepared. They won't hold back if they don't like what you're saying.
Okay. And sticking with talks going badly, Barney calls Robin's attempt a train wreck.
A train wreck. That's a great idiom. It just means a complete disaster, something that goes horribly wrong, often in a chaotic or messy way.
And sometimes, maybe, it's a bit entertaining to watch the disaster unfold.
Sometimes, yeah, there can be that element to it. It just paints a picture of total failure and chaos.
Right. And finally, Barney tries to connect with Lily's kindergarten class by saying, let's rap. What's going on there?
Let's rap. Okay, that's slang, but it's kind of old-fashioned slang now. It just means let's talk or let's chat.
Not like hip-hop rapping.
No, not in this context. It predates that usage mostly. It was cool, maybe back in the 70s or 80s. Coming from Barney, it just sounds a little dated, which is part of his character, really.
Trying too hard to be cool, maybe.
Maybe just a bit out of touch.
First up is that title, actually. The saying, nothing good happens after 2 a.m. You hear variants of this sometimes. What's the deal with it?
Right. Well, it's a piece of American folk wisdom, I guess you'd call it. It's a warning, really.
A warning, like beware the night.
Sort of. It means that staying out super late, making decisions in the wee hours, it often leads to trouble or regrets. It kind of taps into this idea that you should be home, rested.
Ah, okay. So it implies your judgment gets worse late at night.
Exactly. Your common sense might take a nosedive. Someone might actually say to a friend, dude, it's almost 3 a.m. You should head home. You know what they say.
Nothing good happens after 2 a.m. Got it.
Yeah.
And the notes mention Ted in the show. His mom used to say this.
Yeah. And it genuinely affects his choice about visiting Robin when he's supposed to be with Victoria. It's a small thing, but it shows how these cultural ideas stick.
That's a great point for English learners, right? These aren't just phrases, they reflect attitudes.
Absolutely. Understanding the why behind the words is key.
Okay.
Okay, so shifting from spoken wisdom to nonverbal stuff, body language. High five.
Ah, yes, high five culture. Everyone knows a high five, that hand slap.
Pretty universal celebration gesture, yeah. Or agreement. Quick connection.
But the notes mention Barney's twist, the tiny five.
Right.
Yeah.
Barney's thing is like a miniature high five. Just fingertips, usually. It's played for humor.
So more casual.
Yeah.
Or maybe a bit silly.
Yeah, both. Could be slightly teasing even. Like if someone said, we just aced the exam high five, and then just offered their fingertips. It's a variation on the theme.
And in the show, Barney gives Robin one after they mess around during career day.
Exactly. It fits the playful, maybe slightly mischievous mood. Again, for learners, seeing these little variations in body language adds, another layer to understanding interactions.
Definitely. It's not always just what's said. Okay, so speaking of career day, let's talk about career day at school. That's a thing in the U.S.
Oh, yeah, very common, especially in elementary and middle schools.
What exactly happens?
Well, the school invites people, often parents or just folks from the community, to come in and talk about their jobs, what they do, how they got there.
So exposing kids to different professions.
Precisely. You might hear a kid say, my dad's a firefighter. He spoke at our career day. It's about broadening horizons, thinking about the future.
And in the episode, Robin and Barney are there for Lily's class.
It's a pretty standard slice of American school life. Useful context if you, the listener, are dealing with the U.S. education system or have kids in it. It shows that community involvement aspect.
Right. Okay, let's switch to grammar. These can be tricky, but useful. First, future in the past, using what's we're going to plus a verb.
Yeah, this one's great for talk about past plans or intentions, something you intended to do back then.
Whether you actually did it or not.
Exactly. It might have happened or it might not have. The structure itself just states the past intention. The example from the notes is Ted saying, I was going to break up with Victoria tomorrow.
So at that moment in the past, that was his plan. It explains his mindset then.
Precisely. Really handy for learners to express those past intentions that maybe didn't pan out.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
And the other grammar point, question word plus to infinitive, like what to do, where to go.
Yep. This is all about uncertainty regarding an action, when the subject isn't sure about the next step.
So instead of a full clause like, I don't know what I should say, you can just say,
I don't know what to say. It's more concise, common in speech.
And Ted, in the show, he's wrestling with choices, imagining talking to Robin or Victoria.
Right. He's essentially thinking, what do I say? Or what to say in these imagined scenarios. It captures that feeling of indecision or needing guidance.
Another really useful structure for English learners to express that kind of uncertainty.
Definitely. Very natural sounding.
In this episode, Ted finds himself in a difficult situation. He's still in a long-distance relationship with Victoria, but one night around 2 a.m., he gets a call from Robin, asking him to come over. Ted remembers his mother's advice, Nothing good happens after 2 a.m., but he's tempted to go anyway. At the same time, Marshall and Lily are in bed, and Marshall teases Lily about her weird sleep habits. Barney is at a high school's career day, trying to explain his mysterious job to uninterested students. Back to Ted, he debates whether to visit Robin, imagining different outcomes. He lies to Robin by telling her that he and Victoria broke up, even though they haven't. The night turns awkward when Robin confesses she has feelings for Ted too. Just before things go further, Victoria calls Ted on his phone, making the situation even messier. In the end, Ted realizes his mom was right. Nothing good really happens after 2 a.m.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning new words, phrases, grammar, and cultural references from How I Met Your Mother. I'll be back with the next lesson soon. Until then, bye.